Back on the record in State of Arizona versus Ramon Bueno, CR 2014-149-887-001. Let the record reflect the presence of counsel and the defendant. The witness is on the witness stand. The jury is not present. Is there anything we need to address before we bring in the jury?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Right, let's bring in the jury, please.
All rise for the jury.
Please be seated. All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good break. I do want to say, and I should have said this earlier, I know when we dim the lights and you're watching audio or video that you are having difficulty hearing, it can be sleep. Let's just be blunt. So if at any point you feel the need to stand up, you are more than welcome to. You can stand up along the side over here or even stand up in your seat as long as you're not blocking anyone in front of you. We want you to be able to hear the evidence, so do what you need to take care of your comfort needs, and that will help you hear what's being said. Ms. Dahl, whenever you're ready to proceed.
Thank you, Judge. For the record, I'm now reading 1350 of the second clip of the defendant's interview.
Troublemaker is the case, so I will not. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like everybody, like females, I'll always have respect, and I treat them as family. You know what I'm saying? So I'll lie if I have to. On
To protect her?
Okay. On my family. Family.
Was it significant to you, Detective, that the first person to bring up the word alibi in the interviews was the defendant?
Yes.
Did you use that term first?
No, I did not.
Okay.
But all I can tell you is I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Because you were camping and came back.
No, as far as me being there, it's just, I just threw out the camping out.
Did he just say, as far as being there, I was just throwing camping out?
Yes.
When the defendant was arrested, did he have a tent or anything similar to camping gear with him?
No, ma'am, he didn't.
Did he ever indicate who drove him to this camping area at the Indian Reservation?
No, he did not.
Do you know if the defendant had a car at that time based upon your investigation?
No, he didn't.
I'm sorry the way it sounds, but by the time this day, I was already back from camping. So
Now the defendant is indicating he was back from camping at the time of the shooting. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's what he's indicating.
with all due respect, in your guys' head, is it possible? Yes. But I wasn't there. I was with females. Okay.
When you say camping, you're not actually camping. You're just throwing that out there.
No, I went camping.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, the exact date whether it was that day or not, I don't know. But if you guys look it up, my card, or if you guys have my wallet.
Okay.
Okay. The membership card, and I actually give you the date.
Okay.
But I didn't go.
What is he referring to there where you said he's not sure actually if he was camping or not on the day of the shooting?
He said that something about a friend and his wife.
Did he also indicate that you should follow up with his membership card at the Native American Reservations casino?
Yes.
And did he say that card was in his wallet?
Yes.
And that would prove then that he was at the casino on the reservation, not the one in Phoenix,
Correct.
on the day of the shooting?
Yes.
Did you do that, Detective?
No.
Why did you not follow up on that particular alibi for the defendant?
I don't recall finding anything in the wallet, and he had gone back and forth so many times about where he had been and was giving very vague information, so there was nothing to follow up on.
Based upon your investigation, were you actually able to pinpoint the locations that the defendant had traveled at shortly after the shooting?
Yes, and with that information, it would have been impossible for him to be in two places at once. In Phoenix, inside the Mercury Sable, down at the Internet Cafe, and up in the reservation past Miami.
Go to the casino all the time.
Right.
I went 3 times. You know what I mean? So all the rest of the time I was in the woods.
So the first time you said he was in the woods
Correct.
when he went to the casino?
Yes.
But as far as by the time I was over there.
And you're referring to going to the casino here, local?
Yes. It's an AC shop.
Yeah.
And
So now is he changing it and saying he was instead at the casino at the Cold Air Shop?
Yes, he is.
Did he appear to be confused about his alibi regarding the 2 very different casinos he had spoken of to you?
Yes, he was unable to keep them straight and continued to change his story repeatedly.
yes, I was partying, drinking. I cannot give you a 100% alibi.
Okay, and you said that was the 2 houses in the trailer. Where was the trailer at? You told me where the area of the 2 houses.
Advisement.
And what?
Between 31st and 35th.
Average.
Going east is, we got a lot of them, so going east will be on south of Zambia.
Now is he confused about the area where the trailer and 2 houses were at that he was partying on the night of the shooting?
Yes.
Is he giving different information regarding those locations?
Yes. For at least the trailer.
But there's a lot of traders there, so.
And this is avenues or street side?
I mean,
How'd you get to these places that night?
sometimes I walk, sometimes I rode the bike. That's how this happened. I was on bike, bicycle, or
When you asked him how he would get around on the night of the shooting, what did he say?
Said sometimes he would walk, sometimes he would ride a bicycle.
right.
Okay. Do you remember what you did to get from point A to point B, from the trailer to the house?
My days lately is the way they've been before any of this I'm going through. I live my days day for day. I live on the street.
What was his philosophy of life on the day of the shooting?
I couldn't understand that. I apologize.
Oh, I can move it back. Did he indicate he lives his life day to day?
Yes, he did say that.
South of Zambia. But there's a lot of traders there, so.
And this is avenues or street side?
I mean,
How'd you get to these places that night?
sometimes I walk, sometimes I rode the bike. That's how this happened. I was on bike, bicycle, or ride.
Okay. Do you remember what you did to get from point A to point B, from the trailer to the house?
My days lately is the way they've been before any of this I'm going through. I live my days day for day. I live on the streets. I don't have an actual, spot or bed. I'm not going to take advantage of any female.
Yes, he said he lives day to day. He doesn't have any particular place he stays.
And my mailing address and message address, phone number is my mom. So at the time, I'm not responsible for nobody but myself.
So did he say who he was with?
He said he was responsible only for himself.
At any point, did he indicate how he had the funds to gamble at the casino, either at the Native American reservation, outside of the Phoenix metro area, or at the Cold Air Cafe?
No, he did not.
When you did get a ride from somebody, what type of vehicles were you in?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, let me ask you this. Was it a car or a truck that you got rides in? 2-door or 4-door?
Let's see, between the car and truck. Madam?
So now are you asking him what type of vehicle he would get rides in?
Yes, I did.
Blazer, not a Tahoe. Not too big, not too small. Kind of like,
So did he describe them as being sometimes not too big, not too small?
Yeah, initially he said a car, and then he said, no, it wasn't. And then he said, not too big, not too small. And he describes something somewhat similar to an SUV, but not an SUV.
a truck and a station wagon together type of shit.
So an
But
SUV?
yeah, a newer one.
An SUV? Sport utility vehicle?
The SUV is like the office.
Yeah.
No, we're smaller. That's the only way I've ever, back in the old days, Mom had that station wagon, the long one, for
Yeah.
the way the back was. And then for the truck, a mini truck, connected. That's the only way I know how to describe it.
Okay, so it's a crossover. It's squished car and a truck together, blended.
And then designing.
So was this vehicle that you were in that took you?
White.
And who was driving it?
Don't know.
Don't.
So what color was the vehicle that he was in?
White.
And who was driving it?
He wouldn't provide information on that.
Because then you could follow up on that, correct?
Correct.
No?
With all due respect.
Male, female? You know, you just don't want to say.
I'm not, I mean,
There's a difference if you don't know or you just don't want to say.
I understand, and I'm not trying to piss you off.
No, I'm not
Or show
trying to
any,
piss
I
you
know
off. No.
it's work to me, but it's not. It's sweet, clean errands, but at the same time, we're learning how to do. There's been a commercial. The trunk, it's all, you got the boombox, the speakers and all that shit, but then it's all designed.
Now, at this point, have you moved in, there are areas that were taken out that were not relevant, right?
That's correct.
Now, at this point, is he describing where he picked up odd jobs?
Yes, ma'am.
And it was it essentially there was an audio install business on the west side that he would help out at?
Correct.
Is he describing that to you and Detective Lopez?
Yes, he is.
The audio installation?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's custom.
Where's
But
that?
it's the design that's on the website.
Do you know where at?
Yeah, but, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna put,
You say it was custom audio
Yes, he did.
and indicated it was on the west side?
Correct.
However, was he willing to give the address exactly of where this business was that he worked at?
No, he wasn't.
they're actually doing good, so I'm not gonna give them no headaches.
That's where you're working at? An audio install place?
It's,
Because they were doing good, he really didn't want to share their information?
Correct.
yeah,
On the website?
they do automotive, they do, like, make the truck and make Lamborghini doors.
Okay.
How long you been working there?
As far as like a job, but me going over there where I can eat, have money in my pocket, get serious and do stuff like that, off and on here and there. You know what I mean? About a good week, between a week and 3 weeks, between 1 and 3 weeks.
Did he indicate how long he had worked at this business that he referenced?
Yes, off and on 1 to 3 weeks.
Because it's off and on, so I can tell you I was working there for 3 weeks, but I was there 5 times. You know what I mean?
How many times was he there during the 3 weeks?
He said 3 or 4 times,
Did you say 5 times?
5 times.
I'll back it up.
Installation?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's custom.
Where's
But
that?
it's the design that's on the website.
Do you know where at?
Yeah, but, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna put that they're actually doing good, so I'm not gonna give them no headaches.
That's where you're working at? An audio install place?
It's, yeah.
On the website?
They do automotive, they do, like, make the truck and make Lamborghini doors.
Okay.
How long you been working there?
As far as like a job, but me going over there where I can eat, have money in my pocket, get serious and do stuff like that, off and on here and there. You know what I mean? About a good week, between a week and 3 weeks. Between 1 and 3 weeks. Because it's off and on, off and on. So I can tell you I was working there for 3 weeks, but I was there 5 times. You know what I mean?
I think you started that about 3 weeks ago?
Nah, I started that a long time ago when the shop was way over there on 100 and, well, actually past Geyser and some weird name, but it was on Lower Buckeye.
It's indicating that he had worked there quite a while ago.
Yes.
Is it now in Phoenix?
No. It's a big old warehouse where you rent shops.
Here in Phoenix?
Oh yeah, it's here. But you go all the way to Lower Buckeye and you just go all the way that way. I'm here.
But how long you been there?
I went to that shop 3 times.
About a month ago, 2 months ago?
Oh, it was way before that.
Okay.
It was a long time ago, and then I didn't know they opened the shop over here. It's just a friend of mine got threatened, and he was asking me to watch his back, and they got sued.
And now, had they moved the shop to a different location?
Yes.
And did he go there to help his friend who'd been threatened, and so he was there just to watch his back?
Care, so he said, while you're here, might as well try to learn. So.
And then that's the shop in Phoenix? And how long have you been at that shop in Phoenix?
That shop, when I found out, was open to me. It was about a good week or 2. It was open. But it was open way before that. But when I found out that that's where they moved to, I didn't know they got kicked out from over there. I mean, because there's 3 owners. And the one that does the financial didn't pay the rent over there, until they pay the rent.
So
they had to find another shop.
About how long have you been going to the one in Phoenix?
Well, they're both. I mean, when you go past Dyson and all that, what would you consider?
That's not Phoenix anymore. That's Avondale.
Some weird name with a D, I think. But it's past Dyson and all that other shit.
What about the one in Phoenix you're going to?
I was
like a month, 2 months? You know them, you've been hanging out with them
for years.
Was the defendant evasive about any place that could associate with him with a particular time, place, or person?
Yes, he was.
To include even where he worked briefly,
Correct.
whether the shop was in Avondale or in Phoenix or somewhere else?
Yes, ma'am.
The shop, I don't know, I can't tell you how long they were open. But when I found out, I went every day for a week, and then I didn't go for 2 days. Like I said, it was not a job. I didn't really have no hours. I went clean. I helped out. I learned how to work with fiberglass. Then I was going to start learning how to do systems, car systems. But
Who do you run with?
I'm basically.
Did you ask the defendant, who do you run with?
Yes, I did.
What is the significance of that when talking to someone who's associated with a gang?
To find out if he will provide information as to who he associates with other gang members.
So, I was raised and grew up with the Kofal brothers. Kofal Jets, 1970, okay.
Did he indicate that he was raised and brought up with the Kofal brothers, Kofal Jets, 19th and Buckeye?
Yes, he did.
This night when you were out partying, drinking, and at the 2 houses in the trailer when the shooting happened, were you primarily just along between 31st and 35th Avenue and Van Buren, right? At the trailer?
I was not nowhere near there.
Nowhere near there?
I was more west.
Okay.
West.
So now he's saying on the night of the shooting, he was further west in 31st and 35th Avenue and Buckeye?
Van Buren, yes.
Van Buren, I'm sorry?
Yes.
Is Van Buren close to Buckeye?
Yes, it is.
And now he's distancing himself from that area on the night of the shooting?
Correct.
Was it significant to you that the Cold Air Cafe and the location where the women went was all in that area on the night of the shooting?
Absolutely.
I can't use the unlow anyway, so. It was significant to you?
Yes, it was.
Because it's my fault. No. Nope.
North. on me to make it look like
Well, who's Valeria?
my group.
Your ex-girlfriend?
What did you just ask him?
I asked him who Valeria was,
And what did he say?
his ex-girlfriend.
She has ADD and OCD. That's where all my phones went. So.
What did he just tell you about her?
She had OCD and ADHD.
And did he say that that's where his phone went? Is this different than what he said earlier when you said his phone got, quote, jacked?
Jack, yes, ma'am.
When was the last time?
I'm not complaining.
When was the last time you saw her?
Can't recall because she pops up and I pop off and whatever, this and that.
Okay, just,
What did he say in regard to the last time he saw her when he was interviewed on October 15th?
He couldn't recall.
And did he say they pop off at different times?
Correct.
approximately.
5 years from now, she'll say I'm an old man.
Okay, just approximately, when did you see her?
On 31st, and with all due respect, whatever.
Okay.
The morning, early morning, there was 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was around the area right there.
At the trailer?
No.
Okay. And you're saying early morning in the area of 31st Avenue and something?
That was nighttime.
Okay, so not early morning,
It
nighttime?
was nighttime, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Or that's why I'm saying early morning.
Okay, yeah.
Is he changing his story about when he last saw Valeria?
Yes.
And was it,
Heard one of them got a shot in the car. That was in the car.
okay.
From what it said on the news.
So is he saying that he saw her the night that she got shot in the car?
Yes.
But he only learned it from the news?
Correct.
And so are you referring to Valeria?
Valeria. Valerie.
Okay. Valerie being, so
Well,
Valerie
when you
was,
ask, you know what I mean?
yeah.
She's on the picture, she's on one of the...
Okay. Okay.
But it's
So when you saw her, had she been shot or was she
no,
like knowing
she never,
her?
I know. I found out that she got shot through the newspaper.
Okay. But my question is when you saw her at nighttime between 2 and 3?
That morning, I was pissed off, and we argued. Now,
Did he answer your question about whether she had been shot when he saw her?
No, he didn't answer it.
Did he say that they had gotten into a fight?
Correct, an argument.
she's a strong woman, but she's stubborn as fuck.
Okay.
And she won't let me know if she's hurt, this and that. She's, what do you call that, anemic. So I can even go like that, and she'll bruise you, type of shit. So, it's like nothing to her, type of stuff.
Did he indicate that because she was anemic, getting shot was nothing to her?
Correct.
And that she keeps things to herself?
Yes, very stubborn.
And even now I never knew she had that shot, but when they said on the news, I mean, so
Did he indicate that he found out she got shot on the news?
Correct.
Again, was the media informed who was shot?
No.
So again, my
that
question.
was my last time that I talked to her that day.
Okay. And what day was it? Was it Wednesday, Thursday?
Honestly, I don't know, but it's after this day.
So it was after. Okay.
But she didn't say nothing. I didn't know she had got shot.
Okay.
There was no blood stains. You probably have, but if you get to know her, you'll understand why I'm.
Did he indicate that now it was not the night of the shooting that he saw her?
Yes.
What did he say?
That it was after, and she had never said anything to him.
The way it sounds the way it sounds.
What did he say there?
I didn't catch it. Sorry, Miss Dahl.
Say it sounds the way that it sounds? No,
Type of shit. So it's like nothing to her, type of stuff. And even now I never knew she had that shot, but when they said on the news, I mean, so.
So again my
That
question?
was my last time that I talked to her that day.
Okay, and what day was it? Was it Wednesday, Thursday?
Honestly, I don't know, but it's after Jury Day.
So it was after, okay,
But she didn't say nothing. I didn't know she had got shot.
okay.
There was no blood stains. You probably have, but if you get to know her, you'll understand why the way it sounds the way it sounds. But see, just that little bit right there on the black and white police report will get me fucked up.
Well, only if you say something.
That's saying something. That's bringing, I put a name in and basically saying that day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I follow you, but
I understand, but I'm the one gonna be living there actually. So,
I gotcha.
man, I wasn't there, whether you guys believe it or not, and I don't blame him. But I wasn't there.
Did he say again, I wasn't there I know you don't believe me or not?
Yes.
Blame who?
But I wasn't your fellow officers. As far as what did happen. But if for somehow it comes out to everything comes out as far as alibis, then I'm out. I got my ass beat. Then
What did he say regarding alibis?
If something comes out, then so be it type of thing.
If his alibi didn't work out, he said, kind of a nonchalant response.
Yes.
are they gonna come and tell me I'm sorry? Even a female kicked me in my mouth like that. Literally straight. I seen everybody, and
I can't answer that.
I will believe the body in the eyes of people what comes out the mouth. Where one morning or afternoon or evening, everything's all cool, but next thing you know, you know what I'm saying?
In this area of the interview, is he sharing his philosophy of life that he believes people's body and eyes over what comes out of their mouth?
Yes.
And whether I'm doing it on purpose or as a habit, whatever, I can read people and guarantee between 5 days, 3 to 5 days, I can give you never 100, but I can give you between 99% or more or less your life.
Is he sharing with you that he is a scholar of human behavior, and if he has time to observe someone, he can tell you exactly 99% of what's going on in their life?
Yes, and that he can taught himself how to read people.
People live their life too damn fast that they miss what they passing by.
What is he saying in this part of the interview?
He said that people live their life too damn fast.
And that they miss things?
Yes.
I would trip you out, I'm weird. Sometimes what I say, you probably cussing me out saying you're lying, what, you know what I mean? It's just, for me to describe like I did the truck, I used to.
Didn't you have a goatee or a beard and a...
I had a goatee and then I had this and I had that.
When did you shave that off? Because, your most recent pictures are all...
You have the driver's license, right? Or ID card?
Did he indicate that and it got slightly cut off, but do you remember this part of the interview?
Yes.
Did he indicate that he had shaved off his goatee 2 days before this interview?
Yes, I did.
And have you reviewed the entire interview as recently as this weekend?
Yes.
Is that what was said by the defendant regarding his goatee?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but I have two pictures. One is without a mustard shirt, and they didn't want to let me take it because it was hot. And my ex-old lady had my shirt, and she went to the restroom, but they were calling me, and I'm not trying to wait, so I took the picture.
In this clip, is the defendant explaining his driver's license photos?
Yes.
2.5 days ago.
And because it may be a little confusing, can you give us a little context to that brief clip?
We were just talking and getting some background as to his appearance and
when he had different photographs taken at the driver's license MVD?
Correct.
So,
It all matters to him.
yeah,
What did he say in that moment and shake his head?
I couldn't understand it.
You have the driver's license, right? Or ID card?
Yeah, but I have two pictures. One is without a mustard shirt, and they didn't want to let me take it because it was hot. And my ex-old lady had my shirt, and she went to the restroom, but they were calling me, and I'm not trying to wait, so I took the picture. 2.5 days ago.
so,
It all matters to him.
When talking about his goatee that he shaved off and his change in appearance, was it significant that he said, it all matters too, huh?
Yes.
yeah, it does.
I know. And was it either you guys got your minds made up, set up, however, my dumb ass for protecting people, I literally wasn't there.
So
What did he say to you there, detective?
Said it was my dumbass and I wasn't there.
Did he say he's protecting people?
Yes.
He said, even if you have your mind made up, like you said, my dumbass wasn't there?
Correct.
what's going to happen, Ramon, when your DNA comes back inside that vehicle?
Not up.
What did you ask him, detective? It's a little muffled.
I asked him what's going to happen when his DNA comes back inside the vehicle.
And what was his response?
He said, I'm fucked.
Are you familiar with the lab results here on item number 10, the laptop that was taken from the Mercury Sable?
Yes, I am.
And did the defendant's DNA come back as being on item number 10?
Yes, it did.
I'm just asking the question, what's going to happen when it...
That's my answer. I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Anything. You gotta understand, I'm everywhere. I know a lot of people. I'm in the cars, I'm in their homes, I'm walking, I'm on the bike, I'm on the bus.
At that point, was he trying to explain where he is everywhere, as he said earlier in the interview?
Yes, he said he knows a lot of people. He's in people's cars, in people's homes. He's everywhere.
Earlier, did he deny ever being in that car?
Yes, he did, adamantly.
Whether I was in that car or not, whether you're gonna find DNA, I don't think you will. But
You don't think I will?
if you do, then you do.
What did he say there regarding that DNA?
He said, whether I was in the car or not, you know, I don't think you do, but if you do, you do, referring to the DNA.
But what I'm being accused of, no.
Is he now denying being part of the shooting, even though his DNA might be in the car?
Yes, he is, ma'am.
Even though, like I said, my damn ass for protecting whoever the fuck.
So
That old saying, if you're dumb enough to get caught, you're dumb enough to take the blame.
What saying did he refer to?
If you're dumb enough to get caught, you're dumb enough to do the time.
And this is all prompted by him, correct?
Yes.
your whole thing is, number one, you weren't there, and number two, somebody else was there, and...
But I'm not trying to piss you off. But
I'm not saying,
I know, but I see what I see, I feel what I feel, and I'm gonna be straight out, respectfully.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be straight out. I mean, and my head is calm, way more calm down, but I literally gave up here earlier listening to y'all, what they were saying. And like I said, I don't blame them to put that bottle to the right table. That's why I'm saying, if by chance, because I never have good luck, if by chance I'm clear, every single one of them gonna come to me and apologize? No. they did what they did. I felt what I felt. That's it. I don't blame them.
What now is he talking about?
He's telling me that he wants the officers who arrested him to come up and apologize if by chance this all goes by the wayside, but he doesn't fault them or hold any ill feelings.
So now tell me about the interview technique here that you were using with the defendant.
It was a very laid-back, open approach, not very confrontational at all. It was just to kind of elicit information and let him talk as far as just let a free-flowing narrative go, and then every once in a while when I would hear something that he contradicted himself before, I would call him out on it, but it was not very confrontational at all, very laid back.
Were you responding to the fact that he really wanted to tell an alibi?
Yes.
Did he end up giving multiple contradictory alibis throughout this process?
Yes, several of them.
In fact, could he not even keep which casino he was referring to straight at different points in the interview?
Correct.
Was it significant to you that he really was driving the conversation and you were not even trying to paint him into a corner?
Correct. It was just, like I said, a free-flowing narrative where he was just rambling. Normally, it's more of a question-answer, but he was just comfortable telling me what he wanted to tell me.
You guys consider each other family. And that's 100% respect. I don't blame them. But put that foot where it belongs, not where hearsay. Because if you guys, whatever, I'll probably put my foot in my mouth, but if you guys have got me, whatever, I'll repeat. But
Did he say he probably put his foot in his own mouth?
Yes.
my dumb ass, because morals, family, respect, or maybe family. And
Did he say his dumb ass, morals, family, respect?
Yes.
I'm not saying who, what, male, female, or what. I'm just saying I'm here, the individual's not.
You saw the vehicle on the flatbed. You said
And was he indicating that he's there but the individual is not?
Correct.
Was he arrested with Danny Vargas?
Yes, he was.
Did he distance himself from Danny Vargas?
Yes, very much so.
you saw it from the news, right? Were you ever inside that vehicle?
I don't know.
Did he again deny being inside the vehicle?
Yes, he did.
But one thing, please,
Yeah.
make clear with all respect, wasn't there that day.
Not
Or
there.
in that vehicle.
Okay.
I know what people say. I even know what my sweater says. And it's bullshit.
I don't
Mother,
understand.
no.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Is he indicating that other people, what they were saying was, quote, bullshit?
Yes.
Because that girl, she said somewhere about she snitched out, I'm gonna kill her. She snitched on how many times on me?
And who are you referring to?
Valeria.
Okay. Okay.
What was he saying about Valeria?
That she... I didn't catch it, I'm sorry. It's very hard to understand.
In that vehicle.
Okay.
I know what people say. I even know what my sweater says. And it's bullshit.
I don't
Mother,
understand.
no.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because that girl, she said somewhere about she snitched out, I'm gonna kill her. She snitched on how many times on me?
And who are you referring to?
Valeria.
Okay. Okay.
But
Did he say that sometimes Valeria is afraid of him? Or he used the term, she thinks I'm going to kill her, but he's not.
I couldn't catch it from that audio clip, I apologize.
And in fairness, the acoustics in here are pretty bad, right?
Yes,
And this was an extremely lengthy interview.
yes.
I'll talk to you the way you talk to me. If you don't want me yelling at you, cussing you out, disrespect, don't do it to me. Those what I grew up on.
Is he now explaining the dynamics that can be volatile between him and Valeria?
Yes,
And later on, did he say he was concerned about her snitching?
yes.
Treat people how you want to be treated, basically.
Old school stuff. And that's why I said I don't blame you. But we won't be together for 5 years and she'll tell you I'm on man. Stuff like that. We clicked right away, this and that. She has her issues, I guess I have mine. And ADD, OCD. Ain't nothing nice or combination. But I love it.
What's he saying about Valeria?
Said that she has OCD, ADHD, but he loves her still.
But we argued that day. I didn't even know she got shot. Before I seen the news that somebody else.
What did he say happened on that day?
They argued, and he didn't know that she had got shot.
Got shot. Somebody told me she got shot, but I didn't believe it because all of she was in front of my face. And that girl had gotten banged up here and there and stuff. I mean, so.
The house you were at today, who was there with you? You were there, and then who else was there? You went to see a couple of girls, you said.
Yes.
Do you know their names?
No.
Okay.
Now you've shifted gears in the interview. What are you talking about?
Talking about the house where he was arrested, I asked if he knew the girls' names that he was visiting, and he said he didn't.
What guys were there? No, you don't know?
Did he indicate that he knew the guys that were found at the house?
He didn't, he said he didn't know the guys.
Now, Danny Vargas was at the house, right?
Yes, he was.
Had you ever seen the guys who were at the house? Have you ever seen them before?
I don't remember, no.
Don't remember.
No.
You don't remember? You don't want to tell me.
I don't remember. And I'll apologize if it's right. I don't mean to. I'm not trying to make your job harder, but sad. Doesn't mean the individual stays out.
So,
I'm not gonna claim I did this and I was there.
No, I'm saying you're claiming that you weren't there, but yet you're not willing to.
I'm not saying, with all due respect, I'm not saying nothing. I just wasn't there.
Okay.
Is he now going back to he just simply wasn't there?
Yes.
Even though you're not there, you're willing to do whatever time you get if you're convicted. You have before today?
On the TV. I heard the officer saying he had a bullet in his back.
What is he talking about there?
He's referring, I showed him a photograph. He said he didn't recognize that person, but had seen him because he was locked up, referring to being in custody.
And the fact that he knew of that individual having been locked up, correct?
Yes.
And in fairness, had he referred you multiple times to his nephew having been locked up?
Yes.
And that he knew of that?
Yes.
What was his nephew's name? Was it Johnny Ruiz?
Yes.
And in fact, was that the name that was written on the notepad?
Yes, it was.
And do you go into that, not only at that point in time in the interview, but later on,
Correct.
that during the time of the shooting, Johnny Ruiz was locked up?
Yes.
You go to the hospital now?
I have no idea.
Yeah. They're real intent on getting both of us, but he was the main one. Yeah.
Did the defendant say that the police were really intent on getting both him and Danny, but he was the main one?
Yes.
I mean,
Was this guy at the house when you showed up?
I don't know, I just seen him when he back walking by here.
You didn't see him at the house?
I wasn't paying.
In fact, the photograph that you're referring to, quite frankly, is the picture of one of the individuals in the house.
Yes.
And turns out I was looking at a girl, not a guy.
You were looking at a girl when?
I was looking at a female.
At the house?
Yeah, I was talking to a female. I'm not there to look at him. If you see the girl, you'd rather see the girl too before you see him.
Not me. I'd rather see a guy, not a girl, but...
No, I'm meaning that, I'm not saying
I know
go
what
that
you're
way.
saying, I know.
Did he say he was more focused on the women in the house versus the men in the house?
Correct.
What you're saying?
And it was like whatever time, I barely met her though. Never went out, but we...
Traviesa's gonna get jealous, brother.
Sure, actually will.
Only saw this guy in the news, hadn't seen him before.
I seen him again when you guys walking. I'm not trying to piss you off.
Dude, I'm not pissed off.
I know, but you have that wasting my time look.
No,
I know.
not at all.
I'll get you another candy bar if you want.
No, too much chocolate. Chocolate actually helps me with the headache. And I'm not diabetic because I said. But thank you. Yeah, that's an old picture.
Huh? Oh, not really.
When did you guys take that?
Well, it's fairly
I
recent.
heard you guys
That was on the 10th.
That's sad. She does that purposely.
What's that?
Does what purposely?
Takes her face.
What picture did you show the defendant there?
Valeria Jaime,
And what did he say?
he said that was an old picture, but he did recognize her.
Did he say it's a real shame she picks her face?
Yes.
She pissed me off because she's the woman I met. And I mean, it was too late. I already found love and I got no regrets. Her eyes turn gray, blue, green.
This girl?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And she actually has a soul in her heart. She'll rather be away from her daughter than be with her daughter and do it wrong or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but her daughter is at Lana's house safe and growing up the way she wants to. And don't quote me or nothing, but I see her like more or less, even though she's not like
Just bouncing around, kind
she's
of.
about family, not like that, but yeah, she's about family too. You know what I mean? She'll go and help you out, clean your yard, you know what I mean?
What is he sharing with you regarding Valeria?
That although she wants to be with her children, she's not right now. He still cares quite a bit about her, but she's not in a good place in her life.
She has a big heart.
She'll want them free.
Okay.
But
How long did you guys date?
November, we got together.
Okay, so almost
Last
what,
year.
10 months then?
I've known her since that time, but I'll say we started having problems about 6 months, or between 5 and 6 months. We actually were together.
Okay.
And I'm a mama's boy, so when I'm gonna call you my lady, I don't care if she's butt naked in front of me. I'm not gonna be looking over that.
What did he say regarding her?
It didn't matter what was going on between them. She would always be his old lady type of thing.
And I'm black and white. I don't go by hearsay or rumors, but I don't ignore it. And my stubborn, dumbass arguments with her was for something that I don't go by. Rumors, hearsay, como other stuff. You know what I mean?
So you guys were arguing over rumors and shit?
Oh, no, not that. No, this is a lot of stuff. How we started fighting.
Building up.
Yeah, we were in love. But even now, whatever she said about me, I still love her.
Did he say, whatever she said about me, I still love her?
Yes,
At that point, had Valeria been interviewed?
she had.
No, I always love her. Shit, that's her daughter. You can be killed mad at somebody, and that girl will walk in, and it will, and you smile. Her daughter.
How old is she?
Her daughter's 5, I think 4 or 5. She's 24. We were gonna get married too, but being stubborn stopped a lot of it. If you guys knew how my days go, you either pity me, laugh at me, or understand. I'll say this stupid.
Did he indicate if you knew about how the day goes, you'd either pity me, laugh at me, something along those lines?
Yes.
Probably a little bit of both.
Of all 4, probably.
Or all 4.
Read something. I want to show you a group of photos. This group may or may not contain a photo of someone you'll recognize. The suspect in this case may or may not be in this group. Keep in mind, hairstyles, beards, and mustaches are easily changed. The photos do not always depict a person's true complexion. Look through the photos, and if you recognize anyone, tell me why and from where. Okay?
I heard on the news.
What is it that you just read to Mr. Bueno?
That was the photographic lineup advisement statement that I had talked about earlier.
And so is that consistent with, regardless of who you are interviewing, you always read the exact same thing?
Prior to showing a lineup, yes, ma'am.
Also that on Facebook, there's like 2 dudes that look like me. I stopped and pulled over.
2 dudes that look like you.
2 or 3 dudes.
Okay, this is lineup 916.
Who did he identify at that point?
I'm just now showing him the lineup.
Oh, okay.
I will look at them, but I will not point out. I will not.
Okay, I'm just asking you to look at them. 916.
Can I have that picture?
I can't let you take it. You recognize anybody in there?
Mm-mm.
No? You're being straight up, or you just don't want to identify anybody?
I'm not out there. I'm not going to point
Okay. Do you recognize anybody in there? You don't have to tell me who, but do you recognize anybody?
You know I do.
Okay.
I will not admit to it, though. Recognize more than... What if you just say the number, not the name? Still pointing now, man. I can tell you all 6.
You know all 6 of those girls.
I can tell you that.
But you would be bullshitting me if you did, is what you're...
Yeah.
Detective Butcher, did he essentially, that first photographic lineup that you showed after reading the advisement, did he indicate he knew everyone in the lineup and then say he did not know anyone in the lineup?
Yes,
And was that the one with Vanessa Martinez in position number 5?
yes, I believe so.
Did you write a report, and in fairness to you, did you write a report in this matter?
Yes, I did.
And was that supplement number 242?
Yes,
Would it refresh your recollection to look at page 5 of that to talk about what photos exactly were shown at this point in the interview?
yes, it would.
Permission for the witness to refresh your recollection, Your Honor?
Yes.
That's correct. On lineup 91666, Vanessa Martinez was in the number 5 position.
And that's when he made the comment he knew everybody in that photographic lineup and then he knew nobody?
That's correct.
And I want to go back a little bit. You did show a single photograph of Danny Vargas to the defendant, correct?
Yes, I did.
And what was his response to that single photograph of Danny Vargas?
He denied knowing him, denied Danny being at the house, but said he had seen him before.
Did he say that he was locked up today too, and Ramon saw him walking by?
Correct, referring to the hallway at the police station.
And later in the interview, did he talk about Johnny Ruiz and that being his nephew? And he said that he was locked up at the time of the shooting.
Correct.
Let me ask you this, how many people in that lineup do you know?
Put it this way, if you didn't get to, I'm not saying nothing, so don't take it wrong. If you didn't meet me this way, and you met me out there, you'll see why I know a lot of people.
Okay.
I know it doesn't, but like I said,
And I'm just
I
saying,
don't know nobody on that picture.
you don't know anybody, and you're just saying that to, but at the same time, you could know everybody. Same thing, right? Either know nobody or know everybody.
That's some crazy one. Just want to let somebody for it. I'm not racial, but I don't really
Associate?
What photographic lineup are you showing the defendant there?
I believe that's the lineup with Lori Richardson.
Was that lineup number 83006?
Yes.
And did he indicate that he does not associate essentially with African Americans?
Yes.
I have a family member that's African American. I go by the heart, but I don't go and try to meet. I know a lot of them from the project, but
Same question. Do you recognize anybody from there? And see, that may be legit.
they said there was 5 in the car.
Right?
So
Was it significant to you that he shifted gears again back to the number of people in the car from his perspective?
Yes.
Why was that, Detective?
We weren't even on that subject, and he proceeds to, again, go back to it, explaining that although, investigators reported 5 people in the vehicle, only 2 had been hit. He distanced himself from being there present in the vehicle.
Now, you didn't indicate in the interview that Lori Richardson, who was in that last photographic lineup, was the driver, did you?
No, I did not.
She could have been someone who was at the Cold Air Cafe, right?
Yes,
Or could have been an alibi person? Right?
correct.
Or could have been someone he ran into during the week that he was out on a manhunt, right?
Correct.
Was it significant that he's the one who went back to the car after you showed the photographic lineup, including Lori Richardson?
Yes.
far, I've only seen 4 on the news.
What do you mean you've only seen 4?
I mean, the car has 2 in the front, 3 in the back.
Right.
2 got shot in the back.
Right.
They only talked about people in the back and the passenger.
Well, there's 3 in the back.
And there's 2 in the front.
Right.
But they only talked about 4 people.
And now what is he saying regarding the car and the number of occupants, again, at the time of the shooting?
He's saying there's only 4. He's saying 2 in the back, 2 in the front.
As far as what I see on news.
Well, they're talking about the 2 in the front. They're talking about 2 in the back who got shot. Right? That's how you come up with your 4?
No, because they came out saying there was 5 people in the car.
I know, but you're only coming up with 4 is what I'm saying, correct?
As far as pictures, yes. Because there was pictures on the news.
Okay.
I even seen older pictures from that one when she was younger.
Okay.
That's why I thought that was her. She got locked up and got released, and I guess she got locked up again. I don't know if she's out or not.
Okay.
Is she?
I have no idea. I know she was locked up, but I don't know if she's out or not
Yeah,
either.
they showed her on the news when she's talking to the judge when she's going through.
Okay.
About the custody status of Valeria at the time of his interview on October 15th.
Yes, he is.
Is he describing the judge during the initial appearance process of Valeria during the investigation of this case?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
She'll comply to whatever is given to her. But like I said, on the news they only see 4 pictures.
So, I mean, I don't...
They're saying there's 5 in the car. I only seen 4 pictures in the news.
Okay. You saw her on the news, right?
Yeah, it's the older picture.
Okay. And then, did you see...
Yes.
Did you see anybody who was black on the news?
No.
Okay. Did you
That's why I
see...
tripped out when you showed it.
Did you see...
They had a picture of her,
Okay.
but an older picture.
Right.
Showed her hair, and 3 other people.
Okay. How many other males?
I don't know. Oh, male?
Yeah.
That's my picture and the other guy.
Okay. So that makes 3.
Male?
No. Her?
But before she came up,
Yeah.
there's 3 in the group,
Correct.
and then she popped up. That's 4.
And then
They're saying there's 5.
there were 5. Okay. And there was not... one person was not put on the news.
What do you mean?
The 5th person was not on the news.
Out of the 5, 4 of them are on the news.
I know, the 5th one was not on the news.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that. The 5th one was not on the news. So.
I agree.
What was significant about that interaction of you informing him that the 5th person was not on the news?
He seemed somewhat surprised by that.
Would that then contradict his argument that the news was showing the other people besides him?
Correct.
And then that's what I'm about. They have me over here, they have me over there, saying I'm here.
You know somebody named Little Sinner? Ever heard that name?
The only sinner that I know is locked up and never coming out.
Is it common for people who are out of custody to know about who's gone to jail?
Yes.
And is that just a normal part of any time you deal with victims or witnesses or people involved in cases?
Yes.
And he's never coming out? What's his name?
Sinner.
What's his real name? You choose not to tell me. You know straight up what his name is. That's all right. That's all right.
Is Johnny Farinas known as Sinner?
Yes.
Is he a member of the Mexican Mafia?
Yes, he is.
Is Johnny Farinas a relative of Danny Vargas?
Yes.
A blood relative?
Yes.
And so does Danny Vargas go by the street name of Lil Sinner?
Yes, he does.
For even talking, let alone saying anything with that name to the original one. Okay, I mean, if you put it on my head, might as well shoot, because I ain't saying this shit. You know what I mean? But I didn't say that.
So the center you know, is there a junior center?
No, the one that I know is locked up.
Does he have a kid?
Probably.
Is the defendant, again, denying knowing Danny Vargas?
Yes, he is.
Would the kid be Little Sinner?
No, I'm not saying that. Just that right there. I'm not you gotta understand, I'm not disrespectful. Nobody. I can be, with all due respect, at your house, and as long as you don't put hands on me or call me names, you can talk all the shit, because I will not towards you. Because I don't want nobody coming to my house if I have one talking shit, disrespect me in my family. I'll forgive you something different. So, but as far as guilty, innocent, or anything like that, my dumbass was caught. So,
What did the defendant say right there?
He said that his ass is caught?
As far as guilty or innocent, his ass is caught?
Yes.
Was that in response to a question by you or him just offering it at that point so far into the interview where he's given multiple alibis?
I didn't ask him any questions. He spontaneously provided that statement.
for me, I always thought it was dumb to do whatever the fuck got caught, and nobody else did.
Is he talking about then about being dumb and getting caught?
Yes.
I literally, so I got main morals of family. And things that I do for family, I don't go for gain to gain. I don't go to do this. I do for my own reason.
Now, throughout this interview, he has distanced himself from implicating Danny Vargas in helping him, correct?
Correct.
He didn't want to put him down on paper, is that right?
That's correct.
And is that what you know from your investigations involving gang members, that you don't want to include those who have been accomplices to you or helped you?
Correct.
Righty or lefty? As long as you're true to yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it as long as you're true to yourself?
Yeah, but sometimes I ended up being hypocritical. Yeah, but hypocrisy, whatever.
Hypocritical?
Yeah. I don't have another word. I don't know if it's an addition or not, but I still will get advice from listeners even though I'm not following my own. But the way I do it nowadays is because people nowadays think that you're trying to get into the business of their life or run it or tell them what to do.
I'd like to take a break in the interview right now, if we could. May I approach the Elmo, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm going to go all the way to 4:30. I want to show you,
I'm sorry, just so we're clear, are we done with the interview for the day?
yes, just for the day, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective, Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as exhibit number 39. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize it, Detective?
They were still photos of Ramon Bueno outside the cafe that I showed him during the interview.
The state moves exhibit 39 into evidence.
Without objection.
9 is admitted and may be published.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, at one point in this interview, you confronted the defendant, right?
Yes, I did.
And we'll get to that tomorrow. And were those from the still images that were received from the Cold Air Cafe shortly after the shooting?
Yes.
And there was a timestamp on these still images, correct, that were taken from the surveillance video at the Cold Air Cafe?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it determined that the timestamp on the actual surveillance camera was off?
Yes, substantial.
And was it off by about 6 hours?
Just under 6 hours, yes.
I'm going to show you one of the images from that, from exhibit 39, which was the surveillance photos, correct?
Yes.
And there are two images in there. This one ends in the time 9:39:38, which would have been about 6:39:38 a.m. I'm sorry, 3:39:38 a.m. on the morning of the shooting, correct?
Roughly, yes.
Now, you indicated that was an image of Ramon Bueno,
Yes.
and there were interviews conducted regarding his clothing, correct?
Yes.
And where that may have been changed between the time of the shooting and the time that he went to the Cold Air Cafe?
That is correct.
I want to ask you, now I'm going to put up what has been admitted from Exhibit 50, lineup 83030. the image of Ramon Bueno that was shown to Officer Casey. The image that was shown to Officer Casey in lineup A3030, the picture of Ramon Bueno in the second spot, does he appear to be, in the photograph that was used, much heavier?
Yes, ma'am.
And in the image on October 8th of 2014, in the early morning hours, did he appear to be much leaner?
Yes.
Did he appear to have a leaner face, much like the image shown in number 1 of the photographic lineup of individuals who looked like the defendant?
Yes.
And in fact, there was a photograph taken of the defendant on October 15th, which has been admitted as exhibit number 190, correct?
Yes, I don't know if it was
Oh, you
exhibit
don't know
one.
the exhibit numbers, do you? And does he appear in exhibit 190 in the day that you had a conversation with him as being much leaner than the photo that was used in the lineup shown to Officer Casey?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, I think it would be a good time to take a break for the day if the court will allow it.
Of course. All right, a reminder, tomorrow morning we will not be in court. I do have a class I'm teaching. We will be back here tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. The admonition applies at all times, so do not discuss the case among yourselves or with any third parties, and we will see you back here tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Thank you.
All rise for the jury.
Please be seated. You may leave the witness stand, ma'am. Thank you. All right, so the state is going to send me a copy of your requested jury instructions tonight, correct? And the defense is only asking for the additional jury instruction of mere presence, correct? There are no other jury instructions that the state is specifically requesting, correct?
None others that we are.
I said state, didn't I? I meant defense. So once I receive yours, Ms. Dahl, I will add mere presence, and then we can review them and confirm whether those are ready. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that while the jury's waiting, so we will want to get those done as quickly as we can without wasting their time. Is there anything else we can address?
Judge, I won't be asking for anything special, but I will just attach to make it easier for the court, which you already kind of have from the preliminaries. You did the work with the elements already. I don't see there being anything special, but I'll go through and send it to both counsel and the court just to make sure.
Perfect. What does tomorrow look like?
Tomorrow looks great.
I'm glad we
Because we're off for half the day, that's the only reason. No, tomorrow, if Detective Butcher was working to rearrange her professional schedule, so it's my hope that she'll be back on the stand right at 1:30. We had 2 witnesses waiting in the hallway. They will be back tomorrow. Hugo Lopez, who will have a small portion regarding the interview of the defendant, and the other officer that was present with Hugo Lopez. In addition to that, there were 2 other witnesses. I'd have to check with Claire, our paralegal.
And if you had to ballpark how much longer Detective Butcher's testimony would be, it would be?
An hour and a half.
Okay. So we have Detective Butcher plus potentially 4 other witnesses, if necessary, lined up for tomorrow.
Yes. I'll make sure that we have a full day, Judge.
Okay. And then the rest of the week, just if we were to sketch it out?
On Wednesday, Your Honor, Mike Bedow, he's the gun expert, firearms expert. And I know I sent this over. Let me look it up. There's Tom Bertoni. He's also a crime scene specialist who is present. Thank you. Crime scene specialist who will go through the items that were found on the day that the defendant was arrested, along with an arresting officer regarding where he was arrested. Jacob Rasmussen is an individual who found the white T-shirt along the railroad tracks. Johnny Garcia potentially may be called. He's an individual where the defendant changed his clothes and borrowed his bike. We are looking for Lisa Parker. It's likelihood she is a civilian that will not be called.
Okay.
Josh Champion, he is a retired detective who may be called just to talk about the cell phones, but I think a lot of the testimony, it may be cumulative, so I need to talk to the case agent. Kendra Griffey will be called to lay the foundation. She's a crime scene specialist for the Cold Air Cafe surveillance footage, and so she will be called. Tara Zuckerbrow will be called. 2 civilians may be called from the trains regarding their observations of what they saw the night of the shooting. And obviously, we still have James Casey to be called, Your Honor.
All right.
I
So at
think
this
that's
point,
the majority of them, off the top of my head. And with the help of the witness list I sent to Mr. Lorenz.
at this point, it may be optimistic to think we're going to jury instructions on Thursday then, right?
I would say we'd probably be doing jury instructions on Monday, Judge, if I had to guess.
Okay.
But we definitely are on point. It's my hope that we'll be doing closing arguments on Monday.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Right, see you all back here tomorrow afternoon.